Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the book, The Rise of Kyoshi. So this is a prequel story of the Avatar: The Last Airbender from Brian Konietzko and Michael Dante DiMartino. I can never remember their names. Bryke, as we call them, Brian and Mike together. So Rise of Kyoshi is written by F.C. Yee with help from Michael Dante DiMartino. He didn't actually write it. F.C. Yee wrote it. This came out in 2019. This is a thick book. This is a textbook, okay? I hated this book. Loved the twist ending. I hated this book. I hated reading this book. And it's unfortunate because the Avatar universe is so grand and magical and fandom galore. I've had these tattoos on my arm for years, probably a decade. I don't even remember when I got these. Fire, air, water, earth, the cycle of the Avatar. But coincidentally, 2-3 days ago, Brian and Mike announced their partnership with Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus, which is CBS All Access, which is turning into Paramount Plus, that they are starting Avatar Studios, which is going to be giving us Avatar universe films, TV shows, adaptations of the comics that we've talked about many a times. And then I'm and a thing on Kyoshi, and I'm like, okay, so why then did this come out 2 years ago, and the sequel, The Shadow of Kyoshi, which I have to read, unfortunately, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I have to read it because I read this. I'm a fan of Avatar, so I have to read it. What's the point of this book then if it's going to be an inevitable TV show, right? This is 441 pages long. There are times where it takes 3 paragraphs to tell me why the room is dirty or why there's flies buzzing around someone's face. I could give a rat's ass. I give a rat's ass why there's flies buzzing around someone's face. It should not take you 3 paragraphs to tell me why something is dirty to move the story along. That's the benefit of the TV shows. That's the benefit of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the benefit of Avatar: The Legend of Korra. All of the beautiful comics that we've read, you see over here as I'm pointing to them, they are fast. They're fast-paced. They're moving. I get it, okay? I get it. In a comic and in a TV show, you see your surroundings. You see something that's dirty. But you could sum up the dirty of something in 3 sentences. The room was dirty. There's broken bottles everywhere. There were flies buzzing around. I don't need 3 paragraphs of that. That's 3 sentences. Not even sentences. That's 3 statements, right? It drives me nuts having to force read something that could be summed up in half the amount of pages. 441 pages long. This book could have been easily 220 pages and it would have been incredible. So you have a 16-year-old Kyoshi, right? She is an earthbender. She is technically half air nomad and half earthbender, but she's grown into the earthbending bit. Kurak is the waterbender avatar before her. He died at 33. A bunch of his friends were trying to find the new avatar. So Jiansu is this master, earthbender guy. He comes across this kid, Yun, Y-U-N, who he thinks he's the avatar. And then Kyoshi's this vagrant orphan who gets thrown into the mix of this mansion and is a servant girl of Yun. She has a crush on Yun at some point. And then eventually when they're trying to take down these 5 Seas pirates or whatever their names are, Jianzu is just a crazy person. He winds up throwing Yun to a spirit. Yun's now dead. Kyoshi's livid. Goes on a tyrant. And then she winds up getting a band of misfits together of her own team avatar. So you have Rangi, her firebender bodyguard, who's also her girlfriend at various points throughout the show. See? I was going to say show. Book. Which I liked. You have her earthbender friend, you have an airbender friend, they're riding a flying bison at some points. They're going from different gang to gang. You're getting the backstory of her parents, that her parents ran a gang, and that they just left her because they didn't have room for her. Something stupid like that. And then the twist ending, how Yun isn't dead and he's alive, and then he's the one who kills Jiansu, which I thought was pretty neat. Really cool. Again, hated this book, loved the twist ending. Yun had a rock, and he put it in one palm, and he put that palm on Jiansu's chest, and he put his other palm on the back of his chest, and he pushed the rock through it so slow. It's that's a cool murder scene. I would love to see that. That's a cool murder scene. I give that credit. I give credit where credit is due. That is the only thing salvageable. Rangi and Kyoshi being a couple and fighting for each other throughout this thing, and Yoon coming back from the dead and killing the guy who killed him, quote unquote, with a rock slowly passing through the man's body. It reminded me of Michael Fassbender's Eric Leshner in X-Men First Class, when he takes the coin, the Nazi coin that Kevin Bacon's character gives him, and he goes like this, and then the coin just goes slowly through Kevin Bacon's head and out the other end, and then it hurts Charles in the process as well, because Charles is connected. That's what it reminded me of. That's why I like it, because I love that scene. And that's the scene I was thinking of. That's it. That's the only positive things I can say. The relationship Kyoshi had with Rangi, and Yoon killing Jiansu. And Kyoshi wanted to kill Jiansu. Now, the other thing is, Kyoshi's 16 in this, right? She's killing everybody. Killing everybody. And that's why we love our avatar, Kyoshi. She's very tall. She's 230 years old by the time she dies, or something like that. She's the eldest living avatar. And then Roku is the fire avatar after her. Aang is the airbender avatar after him. And then Korra is the waterbender avatar after Aang, as that cycle, goes on. So we go from Korra waterbender all the way to Korra waterbender. Many hundreds of years in between. But yeah, I hated this book a lot, specifically because of what I said. You do not need to go on page tantrums about why the sky's blue and why the cloud is fluffy. I don't care. Give me the story. That's not the story. It felt like someone was adapting a screenplay to a book. With that level of detail in regards to scenes and stuff. It genuinely felt like someone was adapting a screenplay to a book. That's why this was so long. But it didn't need to be this long. Unacceptable. Like this and it's weird that so many people like this book, because it's so not Avatar. It's not Avatar. Like, it's not quick. It has funny moments here and there, but like that's the benefit of the shows and the comics, is that you have the serious meets the funny, the duality of life, as you will. This had more serious than it did funny, so it wasn't a true duality. It was more like a 3/4 serious, quarter funny. I don't know. So many people are going to hate me that I hate this book, but the hell with it. Read. I've read so many books. I've talked about so many different books. I know how story is supposed to be. This ain't how you write a story. This ain't how you write a story. On to the sequel, which I'm not excited about, but let's see. Let's see if Yoon, who's come back from the dead, does some fun stuff. The best line in this book, and I will read it because I laughed my ass off, and I remember the page, 115. Let me find it. I'll end on a high note, right? Because I'm kind of like that. 115. Or was it not 115? Hang on. Oh, here we go. Okay, 115. In the middle. Kyoshi staggered out of the dining room like she'd taken a blow to the head. Leisure? What kind of animal was that? Hysterical. Like, because it's a meme. Right? What kind of animal is that? Like a word that you're not sure why someone would use in that terms. Like, relaxation. What kind of animal is that? Or leisure. What kind of animal is that? Funny. Funny. 1/4 part funny. We're done. We're done talking about this. Mucho mahalo.